republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I'm sorry, Ed. You okay? Yeah. As all of you know, of course, this is the 22nd anniversary of 9/11. I would like for us to take a moment here, a moment of remembrance for the families of those who lost their lives, for the heroes, the firemen, the policemen, other people who, on that day raced to help others. So if we could just have a moment of silence for those folks, please. All right, thank you. On roll call, Mr. Ayer.
Here.
Mr. Bartlett.
Here.
Dr. Lewis.
Here.
Mr. York.
Here.
Here. All right, I need a motion and a second to excuse both Kelly and Susan.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, they'll be excused. All right, any questions regarding the minutes? No? No, not hearing any questions. Motion and a second to accept the minutes, please.
So moved.
I'll second.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Abstain, because I was not here.
That's right, all right. Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Nay.
What, did you have a question regarding that?
No, I don't feel I should vote for them because I don't think they accurately represented what happened.
Okay, well, I mean, if you wanted to make a correction
Nope,
or?
nope.
All right.
Not in this form.
All right, all right.
Well, then the minutes are not accepted, so we either have to table them for the next meeting.
That's exactly right. You see two approvals, two abstentions, and two approvals and one
Right,
abstention?
right.
Yeah, so they haven't been approved. You have to wait till next time.
So do we need a motion to table it?
So moved.
Yeah, that's fine.
Second it.
Mr. Ayer.
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right. All right.
Randy, can you work on corrected minutes to get to Joni then, as far as what your suggestions are to more appropriately represent what happened at the meeting?
Sure.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't at that one, but
Well, and
that's fine.
Yeah.
you don't have to do it here.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, in communications, we have the report from Police Chief Hines. Any questions, Chief? I know you have a couple of comments that you would like to make.
Yes, sir. Any questions? All right. Yeah, I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention, tomorrow morning, one of our distinguished and decorated residents, Colonel Jerry Vianello, retired colonel from the Marine Corps, is going to be on the honor flight to Washington in the morning, and I plan to be there to see him off. It's just something that I think is well-deserved, and I'm really happy that he's able to do that. And then the second thing I have is Officer Rachel Hayes was successful in the promotion process for the sergeant's position, and she will be put into that position on Sunday, the 17th, and I will bring her into council on the 25th to do the introduction to council, and the approval for her,
Promotion.
taking that sergeant's position, yes.
Is it done on Sunday, just so family can be there, or did you?
No, she just, it'll just be that she'll assume those responsibilities on Sunday. Family will come in on the 25th, for the council meeting.
So Sunday's just the first official
It's
day?
the start of the
That's
pay
correct.
period.
Got it.
That's all I have.
Don't you think equally important is her being inducted into her
You
high
know what?
school's
That is-
athletic
that
hall of
is-
fame?
No, it's not the high school, it was the college.
The college hall of fame, I'm sorry.
On Wednesday of last week, I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. McTighe. She was inducted into the University of Cincinnati Claremont Sports Hall of Fame. She was a All-American volleyball player there, so she's in the Hall of Fame there. So it was a good week for her last week.
Good say.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, really great.
That's all I have, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Chief. All right, we have the Superintendent, Mr. Scherpenberg's August report. Any questions regarding that? John, do you wish to make any comments about that? All right. Mr. Barlow was not able to be with us tonight, but you have his report here in front of him. If you have questions, you, of course, can call or email or text him. He'd be more than happy to answer. Chris, you want to give us an update on Hiawatha?
So the notice to proceed was given on Hiawatha Rehabilitation on August 30th. They started a few days ago. The full lift repair is completed. This morning, they started the milling operation. The next is the leveling course. We'll proceed into curb work and then surface course. So the whole thing will probably take 30 days. I'm going to try to get a schedule from them for more exact dates for future activities as it goes forward.
Okay, I mean, we saw him, or I did, I saw him grinding it off over there today. I mean, there's more grinding to be done?
I haven't seen the site today, so I'm assuming they got it finished. If not, they'll finish up tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we put the leveling course down. There's 2 coats of asphalt that
Yeah.
go on the project. The first coat should go down right after they get the leveling done.
Okay.
Or sorry, right after they got the milling done.
Right, right. And then that has to be down for a couple of days before the top coat goes down?
Has to be down, well, that can stay down, it'll stay down for the rest of the project. The next step is to do the curb repair. So
okay.
all the inlets will be, the curb
Yeah.
around them will be changed out and replaced. And then when that gets finished, any castings that have to be adjusted to the new grade, new elevation of the street, and then we'll surface it. So that could be anywhere between a week and 3 weeks.
But traffic will be maintained?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
okay. And then when is the Choice 1 intersection study again?
So they were going to do traffic counts starting tomorrow. I've asked them and suggested that they hold off because we've got construction activities going
Right.
on. Let's see if we can push it off a week.
Okay.
I want to talk to them to see if they think they can do it with the curb work going on, but it'd probably be best to wait. So I'll see how fast the contractor can keep moving, and maybe we'll do the counts after that's done, after the curb's done, and then maybe we'll have some time before they come back to put the surface course so we get the counts done.
Yeah.
We'll try to coordinate the two.
Okay, over how many days do they count?
They plan to do it for 3.
Okay.
So like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just get the middle of the week, avoid Friday, Monday kind of stuff. So
Okay.
the reason it hasn't been done until now is they were avoiding the Labor Day holiday.
Right, yeah, sure. Yeah, now the work.
No, right.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect storm.
Okay. All right.
And then did you want the additional work for Hiawatha? So,
His letter, his memo that's in here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought the comments on that, basically, that's why I was asking about the traffic study. And then until we actually sort of have that study and sort of review all the options through there, I don't think we can really make a decision as to what to do with that.
Well, I agree, but I also just think if the removal of that Indian View cut-through is really linked to having a path go across there. So to me, it's like the path project should pay for it, not the street project, because the path is what's causing that cut-through to get removed.
So you want to wait?
So I'm agreeing with you. I said,
Yeah.
I agree with you, and.
Yeah.
I know you think it's or, but it's and.
No, yeah. I agree. I mean, like I said, I don't think we should be making a call on it right here tonight because
Yep.
we don't know. I mean, maybe, for all I know, it gets decided it's going to stay. I doubt it, but maybe.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Matt, do you have a thought?
No, I think that's a good plan.
Okay.
Thanks. Just wanted to get it in front of you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. All right, permission to address council.
Or not.
Or not. Rod? No, nothing? Nothing? Okay. All right, any question then regarding the bills? Did you get your question sufficiently answered, Rob, regarding the fence?
Yep.
Yep.
John gave me the answers, so, yeah, all good.
Okay. Anyone else? Question on the bills? Randy? Anybody else? No? No? All right, then a motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis? Mr. York?
Aye.
All right, let's pay the bills. All right, and what do we have? We have one committee report,
Right.
Finance Committee. Rob, you want to read?
Yep,
Yeah.
sure. The Finance Committee met on Wednesday, September 6, 2023, at 4 p.m. to discuss the waste and recycling fee paid by the residents of the village. Present at the meeting were Finance Committee Chair Rob Bartlett, Finance Committee members Kelly Rankin and Marcy Lewis, Mayor Bill Brown, and part-time Administrator Chuck Barlow. Council recently approved accepting a 3% increase in 2024 on the fee that Rumpke charges the village for collecting waste and recycling. Based on year-to-date actuals, the expenses incurred by the village are projected to exceed the revenue collected via the waste and recycling fee plus the recycling rebate we receive from Hamilton County by roughly $400. Taking into account the 3% increase from Rumpke, in order for the village to be break-even, including the recycling rebate, the village would need to increase its fees by 3.3%. Currently, the fee is $19 per month for a house and $14.26 per month for an apartment, and is collected via Greater Cincinnati Waterworks. With a 3.3% increase and rounding up to maintain a $4.75 differential between the house and apartments, the proposed fees for 2024 would be $19.75 per month for a house and $15 per month for an apartment. The committee voted unanimously to support the new proposed fees for 2024. If council agrees with this recommendation, the fee increase needs to be passed via resolution. The first reading of the resolution would be at the next council meeting. All three readings can then be completed in time such that the fee increase can go into effect on January 1st, 2024. Respectively submitted, Rob Bartlett, Marcy Lewis, and Kelly Rankin.
All right, you've heard the report. Any discussion? I do believe this is relatively straightforward as to why we're doing it, and to Rob, the way he put together the numbers. We're basically, as we all pretty much know, this is sort of a break-even proposition that we're trying to hit here in terms of covering Rumpke's collection fee. And of course, the Waterworks collects it, and I believe the Waterworks charge us 5%, and that's been into the calculation.
Yep.
So that's what we really are working with here.
The only thing that looks funny to me is that we're increasing the renters by $1, but the homeowners by only 75 cents, but the homeowners pay more. So,
Because, again, we're trying to maintain the $4.75 differential. That's what we're trying to do. So when you move 3.3% and then you just
Okay.
round up, I rounded both of them up to a round quarter. And again, wanted to maintain the $4.75
right now it's
differential.
19 and 14?
Right now it is 19 and 14.26.
Oh, 14.26. So there's $4.75, okay.
So,
Also, I think it's worth mentioning that I believe it's wise to round up a little bit, because we never really know exactly what that recycling fee is going to be. I mean.
The rebate.
Yeah, the rebate.
No, it looks fine. I didn't
Yeah.
hear the 14.26. I just heard $14, so
yeah, sorry.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That looks right.
All right, a motion and a second to accept.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Ayer,
aye.
Mr. Bartlett,
Aye.
Dr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, accept that report. While we're talking about committee reports, I want to go ahead and put the discussion about the reorganization of how we're going to be dealing with, as most of you know, John is going to be retiring the first of the year, as is Kevin, and this is going to create some definite thought about how to go forward with the vacancies and how to, sort of restructure how we're going to do maintenance. And I want to go ahead and put that into Kelly's committee. She's going to review all of that. You got that?
I do.
And we'll post that role, right? Once that comes out of committee, I'm assuming we'll go ahead and post that role, so publicly and stuff like that.
Well, decide whatever the determination is, yeah. Maybe you're going to be volunteering to ride the trucks, I don't know.
Just on your street.
Yeah, just something. Yeah, okay. All right. We don't really have anything miscellaneous this
Yeah,
time.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Are you ready for resolutions?
Yeah, although, wait a minute, I've lost my copies of them, I think. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the second reading to appoint Steve Pipkin as a member of the Parks Advisory Board for the calendar years 2023 and 2024.
All right, that's the second reading. Any discussion regarding that? No? I think it's a really good choice.
Okay.
All right, Dale Park Improvement Project.
This is the third reading to authorize the solicitation of bids for the Dale Park Improvement Project.
All right, that's the third reading. We've already had discussion. I think we already know what, discussed this at length last council. We're all fairly clear? Yeah? All right, a motion and a second to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mr. Bartlett?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. York?
Aye.
All right. Go ahead with that. Okay. Why am I off here? That was it, right? We don't have another one.
The only thing Kelly wanted to ask to have that removed.
Oh, yeah, well, we'll get to that one second. Yeah, yeah. All right, we're on to the task list, and before I open that up for commentary, yes.
Before you get to that part, is the miscellaneous, it has discussion/vote on land water conservation?
We did that last.
I
we did
forgot
that
to
last
take
week.
it. 'Cause
Okay.
It was-
I wasn't here last meeting, so
it was
I
carried
completely
over.
missed that
Got
when
it.
we did
Got
it.
it, okay.
Yeah. Kelly asked to remove the proposed dog park. Apparently, she's done a little looking into this, and there's an insurance issue and I guess a couple of other things. So if a private citizen wants to somehow take this up on private property, that would be a different deal. But we, as the village, are not going to look into it beyond that. All right, anyone else want to make comment? Rob, I'm sure you do. You weren't here last week and you
I know,
missed.
I gotta
yeah.
make up for that.
You got to make up for it. Now's your time.
So I'm just curious with, I know Kelly's been filling in as our interim fiscal officer. Are we going to go ahead and post for that role as well? I mean, I think it's great, and I hope she applies for it if she's interested in it. I think that's great, but are we going to go ahead and post that out there?
Well, as I have mentioned, sort of at the beginning of all of this, I went ahead and sent inquiries around to other of the traveling clerks and, other things like that. And I did, in fact, correspond back with several of them, although the interest was somewhat muted, I would say. And then, of course, during that interim time, Kelly was expressing a greater interest in wishing to become that.
Oh, actually, I
And
didn't-
she had been sort of studying it. So I'm sort of allowing her this interim time in
Oh, yeah,
here
yeah.
to complete whatever studies she wishes to do and sort of formulate her opinion as to what she wishes to do.
Okay. And I definitely think she needs to be given the time to try things
Yeah.
out and come
Yeah.
up with that. I just was checking to make sure, because it's a really important role. I just want to make sure that we are
Yeah,
considering.
well, like I
post-
said,
the
I had
posting
sent,
and
I had
stuff
sent
like that.
inquiries out. I think it was as many as 8 of the traveling clerks.
Okay, so similar to what Richard's role was?
Yes, exactly, because I figured they would be, probably your first line that you'd want to go to, they being the most qualified, with municipal finance and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So,
So crickets so far.
well, no, it wasn't entirely crickets, but, one guy had moved to, he was very interested, in fact, in wanting to possibly do it, but he just moved to Las Vegas, and he thought the commute might be a little excessive.
Yeah.
So
Understandable,
we did
understandable.
that, yeah. All right, so anyone else wishing to make comments on the task list? I mean, does that, I'm sorry, Rob, you didn't
was good.
answer the question?
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Task list, Randy, come on, you got something?
Nothing. Are you ever going to do the financial recaps?
Well, now that we're, of course, sort of between fiscal officers,
Yeah, but this one starts back at 2021.
well, and I believe there have been interim recaps done in there. What, are you having trouble, Rob,
Well, I just think,
understanding
I think it's important that we document some
There
of that
is,
stuff
yes,
for folks.
yeah.
I mean, and especially the Finance Committee, it's in the code book, and I think it's important that we go ahead and do that so we capture what happens at the end of the year. So if residents have an interest in that, it's available to them, just
Yeah,
to have an
absolutely.
overview of where we came in. Because it's cryptic. If you just get a plain UAN report, it's very cryptic about
Very.
what's going on in
Yeah,
there.
very,
So
yeah.
I think it's good for citizens to be able to document, here's what, macro, one-pager type of thing
Okay.
for folks.
Well, it would be my hope that I'd be able to put something together like that toward the end of the year, once we establish the new role of the fiscal officer, and she and I can, or I say she and I, or whoever it may be, can confer, as to,
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm putting out good numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Richard put one together right before he left. I seem to remember that.
I don't think he did. He did something that was a year-to-date one. He had that. He had a
Yeah,
year-to-date
sort of an
one.
interim
and that
one.
was- Yeah.
And it was very,
And it was very helpful. Yeah. It was like, wow,
user-friendly.
this is really, very user-friendly is the right word. It was very easy to read and follow.
But
So,
that's something that maybe you and Kelly could use as a template.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to follow a model like that, that, that it has to be understandable and.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah,
I just remember that was a really nice
Yeah.
summary.
yeah,
okay,
I think that'd be a great template to follow. I think that's a great point.
okay. All right, anyone else then wanting to make comments? I'll give you a quick update on what's going on with the fountain, because I know I have many residents that would stop me in the street and inquire about that. We are, yeah, well, it's not funny, I guess, really, but we're very close to that project being finished. They've been scraping and cleaning the insides in preparation they're gonna be putting down a new layer of cement there. The base of the fountain leaks, and it has to be sealed back with a new layer of cement and so on and so forth. In fact, I just talked with them today, and they're anticipating the cement going in, Thursday or Friday, I would say. So and then, of course, I mean, the cement, it has to go in, it has to dry, it has to be repainted down there. But I would think we get the fountain back up and running, as soon as I sit here and give it time, it's gonna make it, I'll be wrong, but I'm as anxious at getting it running again as anybody.
Have we received the bill from Muir yet for the tennis courts?
Yes.
Yes, we have. Okay, because it hasn't come through yet, though, right? Because we're going to hold back some of it because they're not flat all the way. There's puddles that are still in one section. So
We did receive the invoice, I'm not sure where it is, we authorized 90%,
yeah,
and then we'll hold back 10% retainage.
okay, because we already got the 25.2 from the village, from the school, right? So that's their share of it. They already gave us the money for that, right? So okay.
Chris, has Muir said they're gonna come back and fix it?
Yeah, they feel they can be done with the acrylic, the ponding problems and whatnot, so they're gonna get with their subcontractor and work that out. So I think they were looking for a window.
Yeah, the tennis season's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tennis season's going on, so I think they're waiting for that to sort of come to.
Yeah.
Okay. Matt, you want to comment on the work that we're doing on the concourse, on the trellis?
No,
No?
I thought that was your project.
Looks like. Says it
Well,
is.
such as it is. Matt and I are basically conducting sort of a trial over there. We're going to be doing maybe 3 of the sections, to sort of undertaking. I will be doing part of it, as the maintenance guys will be doing part of it, to sort of see how it goes. I had a load of cedar delivered to my backyard on Friday, and I've started to cut some of the cross members. So the project is proceeding, and I will say this, We were extremely pleased. Matt and I went over and we put together a materials list of all the cedar that would be required to do the entire project, and went down to Hyde Park Lumber to price all of that out. And I must say, we were extremely pleased with the quote that we got on that. In fact, we've ordered a small portion of it now, and it's actually looked the cedar itself is looking pretty good, and it is genuinely authentic to what was there. So we're trying to replicate that look. We want to put it back exactly as it was.
So, that's fantastic, that's fantastic. So, and then the maintenance department is going to do,
Well, they're gonna help with the pulling the old down. The wisteria has to come off, and a lot of the old trellis work stuff there's got to be just ripped off. I mean, there's not much you can do with it, really.
sure. No, where I'm heading with this, Bill, is I was just, we set aside like $80,000 in the
Yeah.
permanent improvement fund for this year and like another $80,000 next year.
Mm-hmm.
And from what it's like 30-something, how much is that?
Well, yeah.
I know you don't want to quote it because.
Yeah, because it's not an exact number, but it's in that ballpark, and that's just for materials. Now, there's gonna be a few other things that we're, gonna need along the way,
Yeah.
but.
So we'll be able to know, where I'm heading again is by the end of this year, we'll have a good idea. So, because there's a lot of pieces we're trying to
Yeah.
pull together for the permanent improvement fund planning, the whole capital forecast.
Exactly,
planning,
right.
That we'll be able to say, here's a better number we have now for what it's going to take to do the trellises and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to speak with 100% confidence as to
Yeah.
what we're going to know, but I mean, obviously, the point of what we're doing is basically, yes, to sort of work toward, realistically what it would cost to basically, finish the project.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great to have.
Yeah.
The bare cedar, just the cedar alone, just rounded up, call it 40K, as that's just for the cedar. And what we were hoping was that it would be a very reasonable cost for them to do the scroll work that goes on the ends of all the rafters and on the ends of a few of the beams. And the quote for that was much more, as happy as we were about the quote for the cedar, the millwork was kind of astoundingly high, and I don't remember what the number was off the top of my head, but it was
Yeah.
as much as the lumber.
Wow.
And so cutting the scroll work, this is Bill's area of expertise and some other people around the village. We've had interest from some volunteers, is like, you're not gonna need all these pieces all the same day.
Right. Right.
I'll cut some, I'll cut some, I'll cut some, this kind of thing from some people
great.
doing it with a jigsaw or some other method that they decide works. But that's all something that we want to work out in this pilot project, where we're just gonna do the 3 westernmost
Sections.
small sections, or like 12 feet wide sections. The first one's got the overhang that comes out with a longer beam. And so when we do those first 3, and that's 3 of approximately 40 altogether, although when you get to the middle, the rafters get much longer in the middle section. But anyway, so 3 out of roughly 40, we want to get done this fall. John's guys, we're hoping, are gonna cut all the wisteria out, but just those 3 sections.
Yeah.
Rip everything down, and then we've had a couple people who know a whole lot more about construction than I do look at it and say, this is really kind of Lincoln log construction if you get the scroll work cut right and everything. There's atop each one of the stone
Posts,
pillars,
yeah.
there's an iron channel that's bolted in there. So when you take them, and then that iron channel has got a hole in it to put a lag screw or I think a lag screw. And so what we're hoping is that when we take this apart, you can't just unscrew that because it's been there for, decades, and so it's gonna have to be drilled out or cleaned somehow to get that old screw out. And then once we have that and it's clean, it should be just, like I said, it was somebody else's term, Lincoln log construction, still not something that I personally would be good at, but that's what we'll find out in this trial.
Great.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, the lumber to do the entire concourse would be 40,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, John, as far as the wisteria, I was told by a couple experts if you can cut it down, like to the ground, and it'll come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the plan? Okay.
Well, half of it looks like it's dead now anyway. I mean, let's say.
Well, no, but I'm saying the roots are probably.
Maybe, but all I'm saying is that even if we had to say start fresh, you know, it's very rapid growing, you know, kind of thing, so I don't really see that, you know, if we were to lose all that was there and we had to start fresh, I think it would be,
Yeah, I would just be cognizant of the fact that people are doing pictures and homecoming and prom and all that stuff and try to time it so it's not looking all ratchet,
yeah.
you know,
Well.
first week of October. And
October 6th, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause
Is
that's
that-
when
was that the-
Board was
Okay.
targeting to get.
Well, the section, like I said, I mean, we're just doing a small little section, so
Right, right.
the bulk of it will still be up. Yeah,
Just something to be cognizant of.
Next
Yeah.
October, it's very likely that it'll look just like it did in 1925, where you see this beautiful pergola with next to nothing on it, because we're gonna need a year or two for that wisteria to regrow. It's not gonna grow like in, you know, a few months. Grows fast.
Yeah, it
But I
grows
think it'll
fast.
take a couple years before it to, you know, fully get up and really look good and reflower and all that stuff.
but then it'll be hardy, healthy, and it'll really look good, I think.
Plus, I don't know another way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have it out of the way to work.
Gotta come out.
Yeah,
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 right.
yeah.
Now, there are some people who think we should even look at something other than wisteria. One person nodding his head in this room. So that's something else to, you know, that could be considered.
All right, anything else? Any other closing remarks? About to set a record here. Huh? We good? All right, we're adjourned.
Charger with the,
No, do it again.